Hello and welcome to the Buhler Optical Sorting Headquarters here in London. My name's Amy and I'm going to be your host for today. Now today is a special day. It marks the global launch of Buhler's latest innovation in optical sorting for the plastics industry, the Sortex A Glowvision. I'm going to be joined by experts from the Buhler team who will be unveiling this new machine and talking us through all of its incredible capabilities. Now, you can ask questions throughout using this question box at the side, and our experts will be on hand to answer those during a 15-minute live Q&A at the end of the session. Now, before we meet our first guest speaker, let me give you an introduction to the Buhler Group. So, the Buhler Group was founded in 1860, and to this day, it remains a family-owned organisation. They have 140 offices in different countries and over 12,000 employees. Every year, they invest up to 5% of their profits in research and development. And every day, billions of people come into contact with Buhler products, from the bread and cereals that you eat in the morning, through to the car that you drive, and of course the plastic bottle of water that you're drinking from. Because optical sorting is such a key part of any processing line, the Buhler Group has a dedicated division purely to focus on this technology. Now, hopefully that's given you some insight into this innovative company. But without further ado, let's meet our first speaker. Well, Lawrence, welcome to our temporary studio here in your customer care centre. Now, you're head of segment for plastics, and I know that you're no stranger to the Buhler organisation, but for anybody in our audience who's perhaps not familiar with you, could you just give us a brief overview of your career to date?
Yes, thank you, Amy. Yes, for sure, I'm not new to Buhler. I joined the company in 2005, and since then I've been involved in a number of different areas. Prior to that, I had 10 years of sales experience in the flexible packaging industry. So my first role within Buhler was to develop the markets in Eastern Europe and also in Russia, and then subsequently also specific market segments in Western Europe. And since 2013, I've been responsible for the market development in Middle East Africa region, where I've had a very good experience and have many positive memories.
And have you worked on any plastics projects in particular? Can you recall any, or perhaps your first project?
Yes, so for sure, when I've been working in Middle East Africa, I was involved in quite a few plastic projects, particularly in Turkey, where we developed quite a strong market position. So yes, I have a certain amount of experience in this area.
And what's the first project that you can recall? Does one spring to mind?
Yes, so if I think back to 2007, this was in Romania, where we were working on a project in a PET plant, and certainly that was quite a new experience for me, very different stepping into a PET plant compared to the usual environment of a rice plant or pulsive processing plant that I was used to.
And from that initial project in 2007, have you observed an evolution of the regulations? What have you noticed that's progressed or changed?
Yes, so taking a more sort of global perspective, it's clear that the plastics market has developed significantly over the years, and that the regulations are also evolving rapidly. And also customer requirements are becoming much more stringent and more particular. So it's for this reason, in fact, that we are today talking about the Sortex A Glowvision, which is a response to the evolving market requirements that we see in the PET sector.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for your introduction and your insights. I know our audience are keen to see the new machinery, so we won't keep them waiting any longer. Well, here we are finally in front of the machine, and I'm here with my next guest, Nitish Gupta. Now, Nitish, you're the product manager, so I wonder if first of all, you could just tell me a bit about what this machine can do.
Sure, Emmy. Let me explain the basics of optical sorting system. It got 4 parts. The first part is the feeding system, which is used for product feeding. Second is inspection system, where the optical camera sees the product and maximize the variation between accept and reject. The third part is signal processing system, which takes the decision whether to accept or reject the product. And the fourth part is a separation system, which I have a separate stream of accept and reject part.
So there are those 4 key parts to it. And what is it that's so unique about the Sortex A Glowvision?
Sortex A Glowvision is our latest innovation for plastic sorting segment. The very important feature is Sortex A Glowvision offers 4-in-1 performance, which means it can remove 4 types of defects in just one machine. For example, it can remove polymer defects such as PVC, polycarbonate. It can remove off-color defects such as white, gray. It can also remove foreign materials such as metal, wood, and loose labels as well. The second important feature of Sortex A Glowvision, it offers advanced connectivity and analytics via Buhler Insights, which is our digital platform. It collects the real-time data from the machine, use that data and convert the data into useful key performance indicators, which then informs the customer decisions. The third important feature of Sortex A Glowvision is it offers simultaneous resort option. As a result, you get very high reject concentration and high accept quality. Overall, our customers can expect exceptional yield with this machine. But the best way to explain this actually is to see the machine running.
Well, actually, I think I'd really like to go and see it in action. So I'm going to head now to the applications department and go to meet Jason. Hi Jason, nice to meet you.
Hi Amy, welcome to the Application Centre.
Thank you. Now, I'd love to know what it is that you're doing here.
So today I'll be introducing you to the Sortex A Glowvision with a short demonstration.
And is it possible to see the machine in action at all?
Yes, let's get started.
Brilliant. Well, I'll let you get it going.
So here we have some RPET, which will be our input material today, and has an input contamination of 2%. I will start by weighing our input material. So the first bucket we have 5 kilograms. And the second bucket we have 5 kilograms. Let's take a sample of our accept, as this will be our final accept. And let's prepare the reject for resort. Let us start by weighing the reject. ...320 grams.
Oh, thank you so much for the demo. That was great. I know that Lawrence is waiting to talk us through some of the applications, so maybe we could just take these and go and meet him.
Sure, let's go.
Great. Well, Jason, that was great. Thank you. It's really impressive to get to see the machine in action, and no doubt our audience are going to have lots of questions, so thank you very much. Lawrence, when you see this here in front of you, how do you feel about this machine?
Yes, so looking at the results that we have here, I feel very confident, and I think this is a solution which is going to please a lot of PET recyclers around the world.
Can you maybe just break down what we're actually looking at here and maybe just give some specific applications?
Certainly. So we have here, for example, in front of us, a range of defects which you would typically find in a PET stream. So you have your color defects, which are generally divided into opaque colors and transparent. We can say certainly that the opaque white, for example, and the more subtle transparent colors are generally more challenging to remove. And the Sortex A Glowvision is doing a really good job on these kind of defects. And then moving on, you have your labels. You have different types of metal, including aluminium and wood, which typically come from the pallets. And the Sortex A Glowvision is also doing a very good job on these kind of defects as well. And then finally, you have your non-PET defects. Now, the one that people talk about a lot is clear PVC, but also you have other polymers, for example, polycarbonate, polystyrene, polyethylene, and polyamide. And this new machine, the Sortex A Glowvision, is also doing a very good job, giving good efficiencies on these kind of defects as well.
It's incredibly clever. Thank you for breaking all of that down. I know there is actually one more point about this machine that we want to delve a bit deeper into. And to do that, we're actually going to speak to the project manager who was in charge of the development of the Sortex A Glowvision. This machine and its accompanying technologies allows PET recyclers to achieve the high performance levels that we just discussed. And it was all developed here in the R&D department. So I'm joined now by the project manager, Desmond. Welcome, Desmond. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Amy. I'm glad to be here.
First of all, I wonder if you can just talk me through the mandatory validations that a machine like this has to go through before it can be released for sale.
So there are two key steps. One is internal validation and the other is external validation. For internal validation, our applications team in London put the machine through its paces, and they really got good impressive results from it. From there, we then moved to external validation, and for that we selected a customer site in France. And given that we are in COVID and Brexit situation, getting the machine, parts, people out there was quite a challenge. But the good thing is we have a nice, strong service team in France that were able to install the machine, give us regular and consistent feedback on how the machine was performing. Now that's quite key for us to be able to determine that the machine can perform at high capacity in a real factory, in a real environment. After that, once it has passed the internal and external validation, the machine is then transformed from a project into a product, something that we're able to offer our customers and our partners.
So how would you describe this as a project? How did you find it?
This was one of the fastest products we've delivered, and it was very exciting for me to be part of this team. Absolutely, the whole optical sorting department was behind this, despite the challenges of COVID, from the R&D center to the manufacturing, product management, marketing, applications, CS, absolutely everybody was behind us. They were all excited to bring this product to fruition. But one team in particular was the data analytics and services team that did a really superb and amazing job on this. But I'll let Alessandra tell you more about that.
Oh, a real team effort. I can really feel your passion for the project, so thank you for sharing that with us. And without further ado, let's head back to the Customer Care Centre where we'll meet our next guest. So Alessandra, Desmond said that you're the project leader for the Data Analytics and Services division. I wonder if you could firstly just talk to me about what your role at Buhler comprises of.
Sure. As project leader, I mainly work alongside customers to define and develop new digital solutions that would address their pain point and help them improve the sorting and quality analysis process. The whole team have been very focused on connectivity and digitalization projects. This is why we're very excited to announce that Sortex A Glowvision is the first optical sorting solution to be launched with integrated digital solutions.
So talk to me a little bit about what the digital solutions are that are available on the Sortex A Glowvision.
Sure, Sortex A Glowvision is compatible with two ranges of digital solutions. We have the digital services offered on Buhler Insights, our IoT cloud platform, and the Sort Control product range. And I will give a bit more details about both. With Buhler Insights, we can securely collect data from the Sortex A Glowvision real time, automatically analyze them, and translate them into metrics that can be easily understandable by the customers. The final aim is to provide customers with a dashboard that only contains the KPIs that are really relevant to them. They can easily access the dashboard on a web-based portal from anywhere there is internet connection. And on top of that, we also offer customized alarms based on those KPIs so that customers can be alerted of possible deviation in their process. And I want to stress the fact that we not only collect data and visualize them, we really take away the burden of data analysis from the customer, because our expert will automate the analysis and also use complex methods, including machine learning and artificial intelligence, to translate those data into insights.
Now, you mentioned sort control as well. Maybe we can just delve into that, if you can tell me a little bit more about that area too.
Sure. Sort control answers the need of integrating the Sortex A Glowvision into an existing automation system. So Buhler will provide a gateway that translates the Sortex language into a standard protocol that is understandable by most common PLCs. With this solution, customers can monitor their Sortex A Glowvision from their control room and also control it. For example, they can automatically change the production mode.
So what data are you able to collect? I know you mentioned the dashboard. Perhaps we could take a look at it, and if you just sort of talk us around it.
Sure, I can provide some examples. By analyzing historical data, we can provide customers with an input contamination estimate, and that could help them estimate as well their yield. By looking at throughput over time instead, we can provide an overview of the machine capacity, both live and historical, and that can help the customer spot downtime patterns. There is another interesting application I would like to talk to you about. We could also provide a health status of the optical sorter. So that is a dashboard including potential active faults on the sorter, the status of the wearable parts, as well as more complex analysis. For example, by looking at the ejector rate across the optical sorter, we can spot unbalances, so potential obstruction in the viewing area, or not equal feed that could, if unspotted, that could cause a reduction in the yield.
It's incredibly clever. I mean, I don't know if you're able to just summarize in a couple of points. Why should a customer opt for the Buhler digital solutions?
The Buhler digital solutions aim at maximizing the uptime, optimizing the performances of the optical sorter, and also they allow the customer to reduce the manual intervention, so they don't have to constantly visually check the process or manually operate the sorter, because they have alarms and they can control it from their control room. So overall, I would say customers should choose the digital solution that is most suitable to them with their Sortex A Glowvision, because eventually that will help them optimize and maximize the return on investment.
Well, thank you for talking us through all of those digital solutions. I'm sure there are people with lots of questions for you. Are you able to stay around for the Q&A in a couple of minutes?
Sure, I look forward to that.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So we're now coming to the end of this video, and thank you for coming along on the journey with us. Just before we go to the live Q&A, Lawrence, I wonder if you could just sum up for us in a few key points the Sortex A Glowvision.
Sure. So the first point I would make is that this is a 4-in-1 solution which combines colour, polymer, foam material and label removal all in one pass. The second point to make is that this is a sorter with a simultaneous resort option, and it's also a technical solution that is designed specifically for the PET sector. Also to mention, very importantly, that this sorter comes with connectivity functionalities, and lastly but not least, it's available for sale on a global basis.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for all of your expertise. I think it's now time for us to go live.